What's happening, everyone? It's time for another Accountability Success Circle Quickie. This one is number 82. And you're going to want to stick in for a good one because we're talking about things that you need to contemplate before making a career shift. So take a moment. Let us know whether you're watching live or the replay. Where are you dialing in from? Where are you? And how are you feeling on this Wednesday as of this recording or whenever you're watching this? Because we are about to jump into your face in 3, 2, 1. What's happening? Hi, April.
Hi. At first, I thought you said at some point we're gonna stick it to you, and I was like, wait, did I hear something? And then you said we're gonna something in your face.
Jump into your face.
Jump into your face.
And here we are.
Where my brain is right now.
Right? Doesn't everyone seriously let us know in the chat? Doesn't April sound amazing? She always sounds amazing, but she's got a brand new microphone.
Thanks to Gary.
Yes, she has the new Shure mic, and it sounds awesome.
It's amazing. I love it. I feel like I'm gonna have some serious conversation right now.
Right? Yeah. Cool. Right. So we're gonna get started. This is the next quickie, and as I said in the upfront, we're talking about things that you should consider before you make a career shift. It's the beginning of the year. I know, as we are jumping into a new year, there's so many things that are probably on people's mind, and maybe jumping into something new is one of them. As a career, as a year goal of starting another job, or maybe because there's that potential recession and people are making layoffs, and maybe you were laid off. I don't know, but you're like, all right, let me do something else. Both of us have done that. We've both pivoted. We both have done that, and we're bringing the wisdom. And if you are watching this and you have some feedback as well, again, we are a community. We're doing this to hook each other up. Put it into the comments. So first things first. April, you ready? Ready to jump into the face?
I'm ready to jump in your face.
All right.
Love it.
Cool. So to make sure that the next place that you land, you have the best chance for success. This is so important. Number one, and we're just going to jump into it. You need to do a work satisfaction audit. April, kick us off.
Yeah, so I think that this is a really important strategy to employ when you're thinking about potentially, or if you're unhappy in your work and thinking, am I utilizing myself in the best way? A work satisfaction audit is a great way to kind of capture what it is that you're feeling, right? Like I would guess that if you are happy in your career, you're not thinking about a career switch. You might be thinking about career growth, but just really thinking about what in your current situation is working and what's not, and what circumstances are impacting your happiness. Because, you spend so much time at work, whether it is your own business or if it's, working for somebody else. So really understanding what's driving that dissatisfaction is important, because let's face it, it's not, as somebody who switched from working for somebody to working for myself, it's not necessarily any easier. There are pros and cons, and you need to really understand what is really driving your dissatisfaction before you think about making those switches. So, is dissatisfaction showing up with money? Is it, your manager? Are you traveling too much or not enough? Are you not getting a good work-life balance? Are you not enjoying the actual work? Or do you have too much work? Some of those things, if you can identify what's driving you to not feel your best, can then lead you to make a decision on whether or not you want to stay in that role or consider something else, or maybe just tweak things in your current situation so that you can feel more satisfaction. Gary, you have anything to add to that?
No, you nailed it. One thing that I do want to sort of add in, coming from, marketing communication background, working in digital marketing agencies for quite some time. I would mentor some people, and then they were like, "I'm done. I am done." I'm like, "All right, cool. So what's next?" "Oh, I'm going to go back to another agency." "All right, cool. And you think this one's going to be different?" Like, this one's going to be different. And it's like someone that jumps out of an abusive relationship right back into another abusive relationship. The beginning is all nice, and then afterwards you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is just like the last one." And if you follow what April mentioned, you could start to realize like, oh, what about this is causing me this stress, this discomfort, this dissatisfaction. And you can ask yourself and be very conscious about this: is this next place just going to be the same soup just reheated, or is it truly going to be something different? And by having that at the tip of your consciousness, you can be aware of those things. We're not telling you to be entitled or anything like that. We're just saying, hey, at the end of the day, you're spending a lot of your time here. It should be something that is bringing you some satisfaction. Not saying every day is going to be sunshine and rainbows, but yeah, it should be filling you up in some way, shape, or form. So, anything else before we jump to number 2?
I think it's good. I mean, and I think just to Gary's point, if you have that tendency to be like, "Oh, I'm going to leave and everything's going to be better. I'm going to go do the same thing somewhere else." Really just remind yourself, like things that you've moved away from in the past. Let's say, previous jobs, why you didn't like those jobs, or, what drove you to move in the first place, and just make sure that you're not making that same mistake again. So, that's all.
Yeah.
All right,
Awesome.
number 2.
Number 2. And this one comes from the book Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. Great book. Highly recommend you check it out if you haven't. And it's understand what is your knowledge zones. So I will tell you about the different ones so that you can see, where you fit. But this work, is it going to be, utilizing one of these 3 different knowledge zones? And this might be one of the reasons why you might, not you're not satisfied. So in the book, Gay Hendricks talks about, the work that you're doing. Is it allowing you to be in your zone of competence? And what that means is you have a decent knowledge of it. You're not necessarily that good at it. There's probably, you're enough to get by, but you haven't reached that mastery level yet. Or is it your zone of excellence? This is one of the things that, yeah, you can do with your eyes closed. Or the third level, your zone of genius. This is something, not only, are you bringing your best version of yourself, but it's lighting you up. And so if the work that you're doing is in your zone of competence, you're probably going to get some frustration because, again, if you're not that good at it yet, and you're maybe a little bit in over your head, it's going to cause some frustrations because you're going to need to level up. And that might be something that you're fine with because, you're switching careers. I know when I went from doing marketing to facilitation, in a lot of it, I was in my zone of competence and I had to level up. So there was some frustration at first, but I knew that going in there. But most people, they know that they're made for more and they want to go there, but they're a little scared. So they jump from job to job and they're in their like zone of excellence. Again, they can do it with their eyes closed, but they're getting bored of it. They're not really getting that challenge. And so is this going to allow you to really operate in your zone of genius? It lights you up. You're really good at it. And it's ultimately the place you want to be. And so especially if you are looking to jump, maybe in the same career, how can you do, what is called job crafting, look at the things that you're doing and, add things, modify things, change your mindset of what you're doing so that you're coming from a place of your zone of genius. April, what do you got? I can't really hear you. I don't know if it's just me.
Sorry, I muted myself
It's all
somehow.
good. No worries.
No, I said that it was all good. I think that is. I have nothing to add.
Yeah. And so
You nailed it.
nailed it.
Nailed it.
Number 3 is what is the role that you want your job to play? And so, April, kick us off.
Yeah. I think that, in some cases we want our careers and our, anything that we do for work to bring in the bacon. We want it to be something that we enjoy. We want it to be something makes a lot of money, and we want it to be something that, you know, is something we're passionate about. And, I think it is absolutely 100% possible to have those three things, but it can also be a challenge to have those three things in just the right way you want. So I think it's really important to think about the role that you want your job to play, especially if you are unhappy in your current role. But let's say you're staying in it because it's paying you good money, and just understand the relationship that that job has. So if it is something that is giving you that financial stability and security so that you can do things outside of work that you enjoy, know that that is a role and an example role that a job can play. If you feel like you absolutely have to do passion driven work, then follow that. Follow that. Ultimate joy, so that everything that you're doing is very intentional and in alignment with your happiness. If it's a job that maybe the work is okay, but you love to travel and it's giving you that opportunity, like a consulting job or whatnot. If you're willing to sacrifice the stability of, not knowing where you're going to potentially be, but you get to hop on a plane and be somewhere else on a whim, then understand that that's another role. And just really thinking about, the amount of time that you're spending and how much you're willing to invest in that. And, maybe if you have a family, you might say, like, I'm given 40 hours a week or less or more or whatnot. But just knowing how that shows up amidst everything else in your life. So just really understanding the commitments that you're willing to make for the job. Really think about what you want and what you're okay with either tolerating, or what becomes a non-negotiable, so that you can be focused on what you want and then design your job around that if you're going to make a switch. And that's all I have. So Gary, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah. At the end of the day, what are you willing to sacrifice for? We're in a different time. Back in, my dad's time, my grandparents' time, it was, they were able to have a job that, filled a lot of these check marks. But now, you're, you know, like April said, maybe, this job is, bringing in the bacon, but it's not necessarily fulfilling you on a purpose area. So maybe you need to realize that and be okay with that, come to terms with that, and volunteer somewhere. Maybe sit on a board of a nonprofit. Maybe join, various communities so that you can get those things. I know, as I approach different seasons of life, my needs changed, and if I wasn't conscious about it, I would probably find myself just like being bitter and like, why, this used to fill me up. Why isn't it filling me up now? I know now, that I have, a spouse and two kids, both of them which are really young. The things that I used to do, in my career and used to be okay with is not okay anymore. It's just how it is. And so those are the things that I take into consideration as I am accepting projects, as I'm taking on new pieces of work. So that's it. So yeah, those are the three things that, as you are considering making a pivot or a different job change here in 2023, or whenever you're watching this, take that into consideration. And if this was helpful, I'm going to turn it back over to April to talk about us. We are the Accountability Success Circle. We are the success team. And if you found this helpful and you want to dive into our pool, April, how can people get in touch with us?
Yeah, I mean, what we like to share in these little quickies is just a fun, playful way to share some actionable tips that might be
Just the
relevant
tip.
to just the tip or tips. I don't know. Yeah, relevant tips that can help you up level your life. And we look at 8 core areas as part of that. And we acknowledge that, our life isn't just one dimensional. There's just so many things. There's relationships and family and career and money, health and wellness, all of those things. And so we try to help people live more well rounded lives and also focus on intentional goals that each of us want to accomplish and then support each other on that way. And we, have an inspiring set of accountability measures to do that. And we just are a really, really fun community. We definitely focus on the fun. And so if you're looking for just a place to hang out that is virtual and sometimes in person, where you want that support in whatever goals you have, it doesn't just have to be business or career. It can be, on a different level, talking about productivity or your health and wellness goals, or just things that you want to do and experience and connect with awesome people. We focus on all of that, so come join us. And we've got a free trial going on right now for maybe the next month and a half to get 3 free months, which is amazing. So just check us out. If you don't like it, you can leave, but come hang out with us, let us give you some love, and check us out at accountabilitysuccesscircle.com.
Yay. So awesome. This has been another ASC Success Quickie. And yeah, we will see you on the flip side with the next one. So till then, see ya.
Bye.